Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we have a little bit of a task. I have a lot of hard drives here. These are all 2.5-inch hard drives, and when I say a lot, I kind of mean a lot of them. So I have so many that I've lost track of what is good and what is bad. It's not all hard drives, but the ones with the red label are hard drives. The other ones are just fillers. So there's a whole bunch of hard drives. Some of them are 146 gigabyte drives, and some are old 73 gigabyte hard drives. And I would like to ensure that all of them are kind of okay-ish. If there are some that are bad, well, I want to more or less get rid of them so that I don't have them taking up room for no apparent reason whatsoever. I used to have some hard drives laying around that are marked with PF. That stands for predicted failure, was the idea. The thing that servers does when they see a drive that is starting to behave badly, getting bad sectors and something like that, it will mark it as, well, we have to look out for this one, and it becomes orange in the system. And those hard drives, they get predicted failure alerts, or that the server predicts that this drive is going to fail because it is getting a lot of bad sectors. It might just stop suddenly and the drive is good for a long time, but in a production environment you really don't want to take that risk. In my hobby playing around environment, I've kind of kept these drives around because, well, some of the stuff that I do, I might actually need a bad drive at some point to do some test with. Well, this drive suddenly became bad, what do we do? So, good thing to keep some around. What I'm thinking of is, I have a server here that I have prepared for this, and we have booted and we went into the RAID controller. Kind of has a little interface here. You press Ctrl C on the boot and it starts up. This is an LSI controller. It's an MR10i, and this is an IBM server RAID adapter. This is a RAID controller that came with the Lenovo X3650 Model 2. It's a pretty stable RAID controller. Only disadvantage is that it doesn't handle drives over 2 terabytes, really. Otherwise it's pretty cool. So my idea is just to pop a lot of these drives in there and, well, maybe give it 10-15 minutes to check it out, and if it's predicted failure, well, I might just take that out. If it's totally dead, I'm gonna take the drive out of the tray and get rid of the drive. Pretty standard, nothing happening here video. So, but do keep watching, something weird might turn up. So let's put in some drives. So today we are working with this. This is my host number 13. And it has no drives in it. It has some fillers. We're just gonna take those out. It has the backplane for 8 drives. The last 4 drives here, there is nothing back there. So yeah, I kind of leave a little note in the servers what hardware is in this server, because I keep forgetting. So that is kind of stuck there. So yeah, we'll put that back in so that I can go back to that. So yeah, I'm just gonna put some drives in there. So here are all the drives that I want to test. I just counted them. There are 34 drives. Is that a drive? Oh, it's just an empty. So there's a bit of work here trying out all these drives. I think we should just try these old 73 gigabyte hard drives first. Here, 73 gigabytes, 15,000 RPMs, really quick old drives. So let's see how many of those I have and pop those in. That turned out to be 14 drives. So and all of them are this 73 gigabytes, 15,000 RPMs, and these are SAS drives, and the model number is there. And yeah, let's try and put those in. So here we have the server, and we have that IBM RAID card here. So let's go next. It will probably see a lot of foreign configurations. Yeah, it has found 7 foreign configurations on here, and as we are not going to be needing those configurations, we are just going to clear everything. So all of these drives has been used for other purposes, so there is a lot of weird stuff on those. Most of them has probably been in other arrays, so let's clear that, and we get all the drives out here. All of them are unconfigured good. That's amazing. I was so sure that there would be a couple of bad drives here. Let's just take the first one and see if it will reveal any damaged. Let's see, media error, none. Predicted failure, none. Next. Nothing interesting there. So apparently, as far as the log file on the drive, this drive is fine. So let's go back. I'll go through them one by one, check if any of them has anything bad. Connect port 1, it has no media failure, no predicted failures. There are other good ways to test this, but if the drive has done anything bad in an IBM server, it will have put in this log file that is located on the drive to be revealed when you put the drive in another configuration. I'll just check all of these. Okay, that was actually a bit dull. All of these 8 drives are perfectly fine. They can of course suffer from something else, but normally if it checks out here, it will be a good drive. It has just been taken out of production because this drive became obsolete, too small. The server was taken out of production, so I am predicting that they are all fine. So I have taken and put in the last 6 drives there wasn't room for before. So now the server has checked out the drives, and we should be able to go back and kind of refresh this, do the controller selection. It will jump back out and we get to pick this controller again, and it will probably have found new foreign configurations for us. There's 5 new foreign configurations right there, so we're gonna start by clearing those, telling them that we are not gonna be using that, and then we should get we kind of have the same. I'm just gonna check these. They're probably also just fine. Yeah, unfortunately they are all just fine, so we're gonna take those out again. The server is complaining it didn't like me taking out this good drive last time, so it's probably not happy with me right now. Just gonna take those out, and we're gonna start with the 146 gigabyte drives and see if we can find some bad ones. Funny enough, all the 73 gigabyte hard drives, the SAS drives here, were 15,000 RPMs. When we get into the 146 gigabyte drives, well, some of them are 15,000 and some of them are 10,000, like this one is a 10,000 RPM drive, as its body here is a 15,000 RPM drive. Yeah, I'm just gonna put them in, all of them, and it doesn't matter for this testing, so let's pop in some more drives. Okay, we have a winner here, number 4. It has a big fat orange light up, so something is wrong there. Well, let's see what the server sees. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go back to the controller select. This is meant for, you can actually have more than one RAID controller in a server. So if you had 5 controllers in here, you might want to pick the one that you want to be working on. Otherwise you might destroy something that you weren't meaning to. So let's pick that one again, and we again have 5 foreign configurations that we're just going to be clearing. Yes, it doesn't really delete any data on the drive, it just deletes the information that its drive was in some kind of an array. Oh, we have something weird in slot number 0. I think this might be because inside the server it seems like that this is slot number 0. I must have switched those two cables around, so it thinks this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Weird. That's unfortunate. We should really fix that. But we have that unconfigured bad drive. The other ones looks good. So, but can we see anything here? Unconfigured bad. Funny enough, it doesn't tell us about any media or predicted failure. It tells us that we can make it an unconfigured good here. You can't see that. They have made the text here so close to the background that it's unreadable from the camera. I can kind of read it if I catch the right angle on it. So yeah, it's not cool that it does that. So I just went through the other drives and they're fine. It's just that number 0 here, and over here is number 4. So let's take that out. And we'll play with that later. See if we find something else that is doubtful, and we could try and mess with them again. In a production environment, this would go directly to the trash. If it has done if it has one of those unconfigured bad, well, you don't mess with it. Okay, so I've taken the drives out over here, and I wanna switch the cables around so that it counts the drives in the right way. So I am powering it down. There we are. I'll be able to remove the cables, and we will just swap those around. Okay, so here we have a good look into the server, the X3650 Model 2, and up here we have this rate controller, which I guess was the MR10i or something like that. MR10i, wasn't that what was on the screen? So these two cables has apparently been switched around, so we're just gonna remove that, and we're gonna just switching those two around so that it will see the drive in bay 1. Is it bay 1? Oh, bay 0 as drive 0 instead of drive 4, which is drive 3, which is really confusing. So yeah, doing that. It's back in the rack and it's powering, well, it's not powering up, but I've powered it. I have a real Lenovo drive here. Don't see many of those around, especially this older drive. Most of them are IBM drives because they were doing their, I think we'll have the Lenovo as number 0 here. Let's hope it's still good. These are E-series drives. These are the server is a bit noisy when you just turn it on because it's still working on initializing the IMM. These older X3650 Model 2s, well, they kind of take a couple of minutes to boot the IMM in there. The older model, which is up here, the X3650 Model 1, they were really quick. This server is kind of weird. It thinks that it's an X3550 Model 2. I think at some point it has been told that it's that. Maybe different system board or something like that. I am not sure. But it is a 3650. So yeah, now we should be able to boot, and we should be, it will probably come and recognize that all the drives has gone, and yeah, there we are. It's complaining that, oh, I see no drives. So we get to press a big C, and here we get to press a big Y, and it will take us into the configuration of the drives. There we are again. We'll be able to continue this, and I remember correctly, this is the IBM server RAID MR10i. I was kind of bluffing that. I had totally forgotten that. Let's see how many foreign countries. Only 4 foreign configurations. Okay, we will clear all of those. Yes. Let's see how the drives, what they look like. So we have just 8 unconfigured good drives. Let's just check the first one. And it looks absolutely fine. So I'll go through them, make sure that none of them has any predictive failures or anything, and we can proceed from there. Okay, so they were all fine. So I put in the last 7 drives here, and we're gonna go to the controller and have it refresh. I expect this is perfectly fine as well. So let's do the same thing, pick the controller again, and see how many on foreign only 1 foreign configuration. Okay, so most of them must already have been empty. Yes, yeah, they look perfectly fine. I will check those as well. Well, this is a bit of a bummer. They're all perfectly fine. It's of course great. I have a lot of good drives, but for the video it's not as great. I had that one bad drive, so I'll get rid of these and we'll try and put that one bad drive in, and maybe also the predicted failure drive, we can try and put that in, see that. Okay, so I have this predicted failure one. Now we try and pop in number 0 here. Should come up with something. Checking that. And we had this one which was unconfigured bad. So let's pop that in. I also have some 300 gigabyte drives that, now that we are doing this, I might as well check those as well. I actually have a lot of those as well. I have kind of been using 146 gigabyte drives for like everything, so maybe I should really upgrade to 300 gigabyte drives instead. They use about the same amount of power. No benefit from not using them when I had them. There. Let's go see what the computer finds out. It found 3 foreign configurations. We're just gonna crap that. So the first one, which should be a predicted failure, it did not show that. That makes me a bit worried that it didn't turn up at all. But it does see this as an unconfigured bad. I think we'll just, for giggles, we'll try and tell it that this is make it an unconfigured good. Let's see what it says about that. Shouldn't really do this, but go. Unconfigured good. Okay. Oh, so there is a foreign configuration on that one as well. So I need to get rid of that as well. But doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the 300 gigabyte drives here. Okay, I let it sit for just a little bit while I was checking the 300 gigabyte drives, and now it has actually found out that there is a predicted failure on this drive. If we go into it, we can see it has a predicted failure count of 1 right there, predicted failure, and it has 1. So yeah, that drive is no good for important stuff, but I'm gonna keep it around because it's nice to have a broken drive. For sometimes I do a video where I need one of those. The other drive that was unconfigured bad, well, that has not been doing anything when I told it that it was really good. I would also be a little bit cautious with that one, so I think I'll write some kind of a warning on the label of that drive. All the 300 gigabyte drives are fine. So. Okay, that was weird. I was sure that half of these drives would be bad, and then it turned out I only had 1, and it was kind of only suspicious. It got a UB, unconfigured bad, just because it said that. And then I have this predicted failure, which I'm gonna keep safe, because always nice to have some with errors. It turns out I have a bloody lot of drives. I just want to show you this. Oh, it's gotten even heavier. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot there. So yeah, if anyone nearby just happens to be in the need of some 73 gigabyte hard drives or 146 gigabyte drives, well, I might want to part with some of those. Don't really need this many. We'll keep the 300 gigabytes for just a little bit, but yeah, that was way more drives than I thought I had. Okay, 52 drives in that box, but they are split between 73 gigabytes, 146 gigabytes, and the 300 gigabyte drives, and then a variety of spinning speeds like 10,000 and 15,000. SAS drives are usually really fast spinning. There is also SATA drives. I have a couple of SATA drives here. These are 500 gigabyte, and these are SATA drives, and there are 7,200 RPMs. So that's also an option. So yeah, that was a bloody lot of hard drives. Unfortunately, or well, maybe not unfortunately, but I didn't have any problems whatsoever. These drives will work in mostly anything. If you get a good server hard drive, like a SAS drive, you will usually not get any trouble. You can put this in a Dell or a Hewlett-Packard or any server, and it should act just like a normal server drive. The server manufacturers really buy the same drive, all of them. Some of them has IBM logos on them, some have Dell, and some have Hewlett-Packard, and so on and so forth. You can easily find a replacement. If you have a 146 gigabyte drive like this, that is you can just go and get another drive, and you can kind of find the same model of drive, and you should be good. There can be some firmware on here which works better with one or the other or the third vendor, but more or less IBM doesn't really make their own firmware. They kind of get the firmware from whoever makes the hard drives, and they probably just brand it inside. So now it's an IBM because, well, we put our IBM logo inside. So yeah, at least I know on the Lenovo servers I've been able to put everything and anything in there. You probably saw that I took drives out of USB cases and put it in a awesome Lenovo X3650 Model 5. I have also taken out, or not taken out, but taken Samsung drives and put in Lenovo cases. Works just great. So that is also an option. And I would be able to take a drive from a, well, you could probably take a drive out of a Hewlett-Packard thingy here. If I needed another 300 gigabyte drive, I could just take that out of the cage and use it in my Lenovo server. So yeah, a lot about hard drives. Not sure anyone got any smarter. If you got or have any fantastic know-how, please leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, kind of give this video a like. I don't know if it deserves it, but well, it helps. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.